Alright. Before we dive in, I got to take a second to introduce the man sitting across from me. He's been our Pathfinder DM since, grade school? I think he killed my first character with a gibbering mouther and laughed for a
Deserved. You should have stayed full-on summoner instead of wasting experience points on archer skills, Sasha. And I didn't kill your tiefling. She should have ran away.
water under the bridge. Anyway, he's the guy behind the counter at... Should I name drop or make up a name? Okay, so at the Crystal Keep Comics and Games, where he sells cardboard crap and judges Friday night matches. All the while not getting a medal for tolerating that lovely customer behavior. More importantly, he's my favorite person to bounce ideas off when the literary weeds get weird or thick. Say hi to Jimmy Vargas.
Glad to be here as always. And the host is, well, this time we'll just say more than eccentric and laugh and not say another word about that. But yeah, if I'm in this, you know she dragged me here for something fun and weird, probably sad and definitely complicated. You guys probably recognize her from her normal podcast. With me today when she's not out busting stoppies on that old triumph of hers or arguing footnotes.
It wasn't arguing, I was elucidating, thank you.
As though she's trying to get a sponsorship from Lucky Strikes. Enjoy her before she gets lung cancer, folks. The one, the only. President of the Narrative Subversion and Folklore Society at Calder U. And the only person I know who can quote Beowulf and curse you out in Klingon. Welcome, Sasha Morelli.
Cutlo, Jimmy. That's thank you.
And I'm already regretting this.
You love it?
I do.
Anyway, today we're talking about a scene that stuck with both of us for different reasons. Part DMT trip vision quest, crackpot character study, maybe allegory, and all kinds of disturbing. It's from the Count and his new book Gamleon's Tale. This one's beautiful and out there in the best possible way. When we used to play Monster Rancher, one of our favorite characters was the gel creature. And we've been wondering when someone was actually going to try to do something legit with it in any work that meant, well, anything, or had something to say or do with such a wonderful potential character.
Yeah, and for him to put it in that setting, I think it's perfect, really. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much here, but his one, you just gotta read it. And the fact that he attributes it to be feminine, I mean, do you feel that that's sexist, Sasha, or is that...
You know, I didn't even ever really think of it from that angle, but now that you mention them, nah, not really. I mean, given the character and the context and all, I suppose we all attribute gender based on how we perceive things. I don't really think that's part of the point of it at all. I wasn't expecting you to go there, but what I was fascinated by was that he doesn't have anything to relate it all to, and that's great. I mean, that's the kind of attention to detail that I appreciate, because he wouldn't know what it is, and he wouldn't be able to tell anyone what it is. And the narrator is smart enough not to spoil it for everybody. He relates it to the only thing he could relate it to, which is honey.
Breaking news.
And obviously, we know it's not that, and there's gotta be something going on with what he says. Are the little bits of dirt and rock floating around in it? Because I'm sure it's not that.
Right. I picked up on that too. Not sure what's going on there, but what we see here in the scene and the fact that the both of us have been dealing with fantasy from ridiculous to well done for so many years, and this is the first time we've seen this subject approached like this, or the attempt to tackle this subject with seriousness and sincerity and some actual literary abilities. Strange that it's finally come to this, and it just seems so long overdue.
Right. So what are they saying, Jimmy, after, all the games are done when they're sitting around bouncing it off of each other? What are the debates that you're getting, or what's the general consensus on those who've actually read it?
So, it's almost like a test, right? It's got to be more than just a message. It doesn't want him dead. It wants him to know something, like some connection between him and Orsinia. But the Count isn't giving anything away. Why is that? Why does it make him relive those memories? The bird, the squirrel, the deer. It's like he's seeing everything through their eyes.
That's the part I only sort of understand. Why those creatures? What's the connection? And why does he experience it like it's his own memories? It's almost like the creature is pulling his thoughts, his experiences, and then playing them back through everything she touches.
But if that's true, then why show him Orsinier? And why keep him alive if it's all just some kind of vision or test? Why not just let him go or finish him off, or not show him anything at all?
Well, she's definitely not killing him. Not yet, at least. And she can kill. And like he says, if she wanted him dead, he would be. There's something bigger here. The creature's seeing more than what Gamleon could or did see. It's like it's trying to remember something it doesn't understand. Maybe it sees Orsinier in him, or maybe it sees her in itself.
Which means it knows something about Orkinia, about Gamleon too, but it doesn't have all the pieces yet. See now, this is why we talk. That makes the most sense. This vision sequence fits into all of this.
It's the link. The vision's not just random flashes. It's a connection, like a bridge. The creatures, the squirrel, all of it. It's more than just the psychedelic truth. It's showing Gamleon something. And by extension, it's showing us. All of this is leading somewhere. We just don't know where. But it gives more than just a feeling of everything being intentional. Because I'm sure it is.
Whatever it is, it's not just random. The honey creature, it's like it's trying to tell Gamleon that it's all tied together. That, like every vision, quest or trip, it's saying that we're all part of something. Something much bigger. But it's more than just that. Because it fixates on her and then it takes a long time. What's up with him freeing himself from the slavery? Cause it goes over the part where he fights against his captors more than once. I think that's like a friend from foe assessment.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a given, and I'm with you on that one. And it's a lot more than just some kind of vision quest or something. Then I agree that none of it is random, even though it's like a psychedelic experience. He sees what he sees and feels what he feels as those creatures for a reason. And then you have to see how it all plays out because, I don't want to give too many spoilers away here. But those surrounding passages up until the point where everybody comes out of the temple, that is also very intentional. And you notice how concise all the wording becomes, that he stops giving you all the visceral detail, and it just becomes laser focused after their encounter with one another. It's almost like a different person who wrote it.
Yeah, and I hadn't really thought too much about that. I figured he was just trying to pick the pace up a little bit, but I could see where he might be coming from with that. It's well done though. From the side notes and the other things we've been allowed to look at, it's been said repeatedly that he's not trying to glorify the violence.
To be honest, I think that's just lip service though. Because for someone who's not trying to or claims they're not trying to glorify violence, they're sure to use it a lot. And it's not just a plot device or some literary allegory or something. At least I don't see it that way.